What's good, LL Nation? It's a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, man. It's beautiful where I'm at. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. Welcome to the Lucky Lefty podcast. I am your guy, Shaun Davis at SD2 Mics. As always, we are featuring and brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. You might as well drink it as Marcus Freeman does. So go ahead, get you some Onora Whiskey. The original Lucky Lefty will be joining us shortly. He's dealing with Lil Man. He's getting set to join us. Special show today. Hopefully we can get through all of our video that we have. We'll hear about the defensive line. We'll go deeper in depth to the usage of the wide receivers and how that'll impact Drew Pine or Tyler Buchner, whichever one of those guys actually are named the starter coming out of fall camp. Then we have a special guest, Julio Rodriguez. He is the barber to Notre Dame football, and he will actually be joining us at the top of the next hour, fresh off of giving Marcus Freeman a nice fade. So that's going to be dope. And we're going to talk to him about, who falls asleep in the chair, some of the other things, interesting concept, and how he connects to the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll discuss all of that when he joins us in just a few right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. Brandon Stannard, we might as well get to that, and I'm sure I'll let Malik talk about it. I like it. I really do. I think it's right in line with allowing FCS teams, specifically HBCUs, to be seen on a national stage. The game will be all over Peacock, NBC Sports. Tons of scouts will be there. So it's really just giving those players an opportunity to be seen. And don't forget, they're starting to get some 4 stars. They're starting to get some high 3 stars at these particular universities. So, in a couple of years or in a year or so, I wouldn't say it will be competitive because I expect Notre Dame to be even better in that year than they will be this year, specifically stronger at the quarterback position and deeper at the wide receiver position, still deeper in the running back position, and that young offensive line is going to be just that much better. So the team that Tennessee State will be facing will be a daunting task for Eddie George and his squad coming in. I really wish Notre Dame was playing in Nashville for their homecoming. Like that would be perfect. But if you don't know, HBCUs, you either hit the collective homecoming in Atlanta for the 6 schools down there, or you hit Howard in DC, or you go to Tennessee State and hit Nashville. Nashville is absolutely one of my favorite cities to visit, just period, on the weekend. Just to go, chill, walk up and down the street. Last time I was there, I was actually taking my daughter on her visit to Vanderbilt. And that Friday night, my cousin, he lives in Memphis, he drove up. And we went out that Friday night, and LSU was in town to play Vanderbilt. So it was rocking. And then the Titans had a home game that Sunday, and it just happened to be Tennessee State's homecoming weekend. So I was down. It was like a perfect storm. And Nashville was on fire. So that would be dope if Notre Dame was actually going on the road to play Tennessee State and doing it for their homecoming. And then on top of that, just add, I'm telling you, every Notre Dame fan would absolutely love that trip down to Nashville. So we're going to bring in, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it because athletically, he's definitely my better half. We have a relationship, and athletically, he is definitely the better half of this relationship. He is the original
Lucky Lefty, we here.
What's good with it? What's good with it? So, Tennessee State, FCS, added to the schedule in 2023. You know the relationship between Eddie George, who is their head coach, and Marcus Freeman. Just talk about it, your thoughts on it. It pretty much means that Notre Dame has to go undefeated, but that's pretty much the deal every year. I mean,
No, it's super exciting to see Eddie George get on the schedule. I actually was trying to reach out to him to see if he needed a quarterback coach, but it is good also to have Notre Dame have a HBCU on the schedule. When's the last time if ever that's happened? So I do think when you get Marcus Freeman and he's from Dayton, when he get up in there, he's gonna add a little flavor to the schedule as well. So I do think.
Go ahead.
I do think this is good for all schools involved. I mean, I think for HBCU schools to get a chance to come up to Notre Dame, check out the campus, go to the bookstore. It's something that they don't get to see too many stadiums like that throughout the season. So, and we get a chance to pay them our little money to smack up on them boys, hopefully, and teach them about getting better and hopefully make it competitive. But it is good to see Marcus Freeman flexing his coaching muscles and his relationships and getting some games added that he probably knows in the bigger scheme of things is more for the optics of it than it is for anything else. But Eddie George coming into Notre Dame Stadium as a coach, I think is better than a player, better than him being a player out there.
Yeah, absolutely, Brendan. Broadway Street in Nashville. Hey, bro, look, man. I pretty much knew where my daughter was going for school, but I was really hoping and praying, like, yo, I really hope she chooses Vanderbilt. Like, I was really mad.
No, Vandy's nice. See, I like Nashville too.
I love that city, bro. The vibe is just beautiful, man. It's just beautiful. You have like 3 or 4 schools there.
All encompassing.
Wonderful atmosphere. And I went on the perfect, like I was sharing before you got on. It was Tennessee State's homecoming. LSU was in town to play Vanderbilt. And the Titans had a game on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, you're in there.
Yes. So you had New York people there. You had people from Louisiana, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans there. Yeah. It was lit. And you had the HBCU crowd for homecoming. It was the perfect storm, the perfect weekend to be down there.
Yeah, the good thing about homecomings like that is that people coming from all over, going to the school or not. So you're going to get a nice mix of culture and just excitement, man. That many good games during that, 2-3 day week, can't ask for much more.
That game, if you see Notre Dame players come out for the halftime, it's not for Notre Dame's band.
Like the Cincinnati kicker, he had a halftime watching.
Pearson came out to watch the halftime.
Yeah, they watching Snoop and Trey on the full uniform. See, This is why we don't trust kickers during the year. It's like, what you doing?
Right. So if you see Notre Dame players come out at halftime, it's for the Marching Tigers. It won't be for the
it will not be for us. No, we're good, but we're not that.
No. And like somebody said in the chat, like Notre Dame's band better bring it. It's like
we'll bring it in size.
For sure.
We'll bring it in size.
For sure.
But sound?
For sure.
We talking about something else.
For sure. And this is funny though. Half the stadium might not even realize the songs that Tennessee State is doing. Be real about it, bro.
No, they'll know it because it's the current radio songs,
The student body might realize it, like, okay,
They always drop, they good at knowing the Earth, Wind and Fire classics. They gonna play an Earth, Wind and Fire, September or something. They gonna have something knowing it in the crowd. It's crazy. Oh man, I don't know. I mean, TSU might do something different. Come up with that Sweet Caroline. They love that.
Might be repping Tennessee. They might come out with some 8-ball and MJG.
They might. Now,
they might come out with some Young Dolph.
As long as they pull up with that Sweet Caroline, that'll save the show.
No, Tennessee State is not playing Sweet Caroline. No. Pierre, you stupid. Shout out to Pierre. He said they're gonna come out with Flight of the Bumblebee from Drumline.
Yeah, you already know.
Oh man. Lucky Lefty podcast. Yo, but it's exciting, man. It's just exciting to see some of these programs understand the help and assistance and the exposure needed by the HBCUs And it's good to have coaches in position that understand that are willing to give the opportunity for exposure for those programs and those young men that have talent and have played next to some of the guys that are on the Notre Dame roster in high school. So it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity. So once again, Julio Rodriguez, Barber to the Notre Dame football team is going to be joining us fresh off of giving Marcus Freeman a nice fade. Like, coach is in the chair right now, bro. He's in the chair right now.
See, that's what you want. You want Marcus Freeman having that fresh cut on standby at all times because he's going to be good in front of that camera.
No doubt. No doubt. Man, Terry Howe, he says, Shaun and Malik, shout out from Canada. That's what's good. What part of Canada? Let us know.
Hopefully it's Ontario. I heard Ontario's the nice part.
Yo, I'm a huge Toronto, Carabana. I still didn't check out the OVO store up there at the Grove yet. I still didn't check your boy's store out.
Yeah, because you might end up with an empty bank account leaving out of there.
Yeah, my daughter hit me talking about, man, I want this jumpsuit that's $350. I said, you out of your mind.
That's for both up and lower?
Yeah. I said, you out of your mind.
You know, she graduating soon, right? She graduating soon.
You start talking 300-400, we might as well be up on Melrose getting some sneakers. Like, if we're talking that much money,
that's at least 400. At least.
Right.
At least.
Because you know how some people, they're looking at the ticket price, or you ask your kid how much is something, and they'll tell you 300. Right? You get to the store and it's $399. It's like, dude, this is $400.
This is $400.
This is not $300. Like,
and they say 300, like they skip all the 350, 326, 370, because it's the 3. It's the 3 in front, so it's all the same.
No doubt. I got Eugene Williams out in Arizona said TSU gonna mess around and play Trick Daddy with the band. Man, if they have somebody come out and actually rap while they play, dude.
Ohio State's band is not that bad. We might see something like that for Ohio State's band. They got a pretty solid one. You think they're gonna do the interlocking ND and talk stuff?
You know what I want to do? When we get up to the bus, I want to find a way to get on the field as they running the script. Knock the dude that's the dot on the I down and dot the I with the middle finger to Ohio State.
see, I ain't gonna do all that. I'm from there.
I mean, you would have to bail me out.
Disrespect them. Good grief. Look, you taking it. Look, we gonna win. But we ain't gotta do that to the dot. The dot I is iconic in college football.
I know, but that's just like the ultimate form of disrespect, right? Oh man, somebody said they should play double Dutch bus. Terry said he is from Tecumseh, Ontario, 20 minutes over the bridge from Motown. Oh, yo. So, Terry, you're not too far from Club Cheetah. We actually went to one of my guys got married about 10 years ago up in the D. And at this point in time, you can still get into Canada with your ID going underground.
Oh, like your driver's license.
Yeah. Under the river. And we went over there and we went to Club Cheetah and had a really good time. Had a really good time, man. Had a really good time. It was scary for a minute because I lost phone service. And we got to the other side. And I was like, man. Yeah, Eugene said Shaun gonna make us pass a collection plate around for bail money or something. Jay Clampett Investments, that's the level we need to be at. Let's go. That's what I'm saying. Please, I don't need the plug in my back. Please, don't, I'm already fired up and talking trash. I'm already talking trash.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough day in the shoe for Ohio State fans when we coming through for sure.
Yo, but shout out to Marcus Freeman once again for making it happen, and shout out to Notre Dame for being flexible and allowing it to happen. Absolutely. So, hey, bro, Marcus Freeman talked to the media, and sometimes we refer to ourselves as the prophets, and Marcus Freeman is making a lot of Tyler Buchner fans upset. He keeps making them upset, man. He keeps spoiling their dreams. These visions they have of 350-yard games with 4 touchdowns. And
throwing or running? Which one?
you're stupid. You're stupid. According to Braden Lindsay, it probably would be with his legs. But in their dreams, he's throwing for 350, 4 touchdowns, and he's taking a trip to New York in December. These are the dreams that
dreams of a college top football program in college football.
These are the dreams that Notre Dame fans have for their quarterback, Tyler Buchner. So once again, Marcus Freeman meets with the media this weekend. And just listen, he spoils those dreams talking about how his team is looking in spring practice.
I'm really pleased with our coaches, in that we have some really, really good coaches at every single position. And we challenged them to start the scrimmage today with a short yardage scrimmage. And it was great to see, man, a good battle between the O-line and D-line. And physicality and being able to run the ball and stopping the run is something that I believe we're going to have to be able to do. And I think the ability for these position coaches to get with the coordinators and understand the new schemes on offense and defense, and it's been really, really good to see, man. And I'm really happy with the progression this team is making.
He's pleased. He's pleased. Loves the coaches. Loves the way they teach. But in the middle of all of that, we're going to stop the run and we're going to run the ball. I don't know how many times Marcus Freeman has to tell the fan base what to expect on September 3rd. We're going to stop this run and we're going to run this ball.
He said, I love the way it's developing. Just the physicality. We're going to be smacking people in the face.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah,
we're not looking to fly by overnight, no overnight shipping. No. We're ground game, next day delivery, knocking on the front door. Did you order this touchdown? Audric Estime? Yeah. That's what it's going to sound like.
His mentor had 1 Maurice Claret. We got about 3.
We got
about 3. we got about 3.
We got enough to test out a couple,
Absolutely.
And like the great Braden Lindsay said, he said he'll keep evolving and get there one day eventually. Get there.
He goes, look, I'm not hating, bro. I'm just telling you. I'm trying to forewarn fans that have these dreams, these delusions of grandeur.
That we're going to be out here throwing the rock around like skipping pebbles.
And he's going to be Jack Cone in the Fiesta Bowl, throwing the rock 58 times. No. Why'd you bring Harry back?
Why? Yeah, why? Why would we bring Harry back?
Why's Harry back? I'm just saying.
Harry came back because they told him we was about to run the ball. He thought he'd come back because he loved Notre Dame, but he came back because we told him specifically, we're going to run this thing real up the middle, left, right, however you want it. We're about to do that.
He was just calm with it too, right? Like, man, what?
Because he knows that the plan is going accordingly.
Yeah.
He said the physicality,
grin, smile, like, yeah,
that running game.
Nice.
Yeah. We looking a lot like 202.
Yeah.
2002. We looking a lot like them years.
Yo, media's like, hey, coach, what's pleased you the most about this spring?
I'm really pleased with our coaches, in that we have some really, really good coaches at every single position. And we challenged them to start the scrimmage today with a short yardage scrimmage. And it was great to see, man, a good battle between the O-line and D-line. And physicality and being able to run the ball and stopping the run is something.
Yo.
You know why he said short yardage? Because that's what we're going to be at.
Yo.
Season. Short yardage.
You can see him on the sideline watching practice. They going through passing drills. He's like, that's all right.
He's skipping all right. Man, get warm.
They started that practice off with short yardage. Boy, he was
start how we gonna look during the season. Let's do the short yardage, get it in the way right now.
He heard the pass popping. He heard the helmet smacking. He was like,
we had football practice. We ain't at that 707 tryouts no more. That 707 thing gone with the wind.
Yeah. None of that soft stuff. It's going to be a physical football team. Notre Dame fans, you will have a physical football team. If you thought that was one of the issues previously, don't worry about it. That's the one thing I pointed about Tennessee State. The offensive line is going to be better this year, but the O-line TSU is going to face in 23, yeah, I feel bad, man. That's the only – I feel like go ahead and let TSU play us this year. Like when we're just getting our feet under us in the MF era. Play us this year. Because next year, the squad next year, running back room is still going to be deep. Wide receiver room will be deeper. Deeper. Right? Quarterback room, deeper.
Better.
Yo, it's like, and then you start adding in the freshman linebackers coming in. The freshman linebackers that will be sophomores. The young defensive linemen that will be sophomores. Yo, hey man.
Be all right.
Eddie George might want to rethink. Like, can we push this back to 24 or 25?
Well, Eddie George like a player. He thinking he finna run out there. No.
It's all good till it's halfway through the first quarter and it's already 14-zip.
Yeah, you like, man, we killing morale in this one.
No, you looking up at the clock like, man, we still got.
But we better be killing morale by the first half with all these talented players we got. Marcus Freeman is loving the coaching staff. That's probably the first time I've heard a head coach at Notre Dame talk about how much he loves all of the coaches on the coaching staff. He's not just going up there to protect coaches from criticism. He up there acknowledging the strengths of what he hired. And I think that's going to show through each position group. Yeah. You see a little technique in each group. You'll see like they've been working in individual skills in groups during practice, because not only is it fresh, but these kids want to learn from these group of coaches that he brought in.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. As we expand upon the offense and what's been pleasing this spring, Lorenzo Styles has been amazing in practices. The practices that I've seen and the practices and the reports we get. And Chancey Stuckey talked about his young wide receiver and his plan for Styles going into the season.
Definitely getting the ball in his hands. Like if he can get his hands on the ball, he can do a lot of great things. But he reminds me of when I first switched over to receiver. Like just a super athlete, but I didn't understand the details of it. So with him, I kind of see a younger version of myself and trying to bring him along the way I was brought along with. Just working on the details, just trying to find a way to get better every day. And, before long, we hopefully have a pretty polished, finished product. But initially, just getting him the ball in space is the biggest thing.
That's 10 to 15 touches a game to me.
That's what it sounds like.
Anytime a coach talking about that reminds me of me. He gonna get the ball.
So it's like game plan. You would think
20 to Audric, 10 to 15 to Lorenzo.
Mm-hmm.
What we had 25,
8 to 10 to Mayor.
8 to 10. No, I'll say 10 to 11 to Mayor.
Okay.
Those are your three guys that's got to touch it.
Those are the dogs.
So that's about half the game right there.
Yeah.
And then you sprinkle in your Avery and your Chris Tyree. Give Braden Lindsey 5 to 6 shots, but let them be the deep shots.
A couple of screens and jet sweeps.
And then you got 5 or 6 plays for Tyler to do his playmaking thing. You good. You good. You about at 60, 70 plays. You good.
Sounds about right.
And then the miscellaneous reps, the miscellaneous plays, you get 10, and it could be, anybody in there, any of the mix. But 20, 25 got to be the Audric. Lorenzo got to touch it 10, 12, maybe 10 to 15, depending on who we playing.
Mm-hmm.
The other running backs got to get it in there around 10, 15 times. Michael Mayer got to get his own 10 plays. So that's around 50, 60 right there. And then leave 5 or 6 for Buchner in there somewhere.
What are you saying? You talking about 5 to 6 carries?
5 to 6. He should have 5 to 6 carries because we got so many damn running backs. But if there's a play where you're like, okay, he can make a play.
Right.
About 5 or 6 in there, sprinkle that in so we get better.
I need
Be all
him to
right.
be healthy, man. He doesn't need any carries from me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 5 to 6 is good because you know he's gonna do it on purpose. He's gonna run because he got that Kyler Murray type of confidence. It's like an arrogance. It's like he was in La Jolla running them little kids over, school of the blind and deaf. He was running them over. So he got that. He like, give me the rock.
Yeah.
I'll run that thing.
Yeah.
And we'd be all right. Lindsay,
thank you for the super chat, my man. Run, Forrest, run. Ashley's always taking shots. I'm being nice today, bro. I'm being nice. You said 10. If that's 10 to 15 for Styles, 10 to 11 for Mayer, Braden gets 5. That's about 30 attempts.
That's way more than we'll probably see in the game. That's just if we balance, because I know Tommy wants to be balanced in some aspects. That's a balance. Got about 30 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
That's a balanced game. That's what Tyler Buchner playing his ass off,
Right.
Now, ideally, I would hope it would be more 60-40 us really running that thing because we got so many running backs. Right. I like an Aldrick and a Jadarian Price and a Diggs combo. And then you toss in a couple runs from Tyler TB with no hamstring. Oh, we there.
Lucky Lefty podcast. I like it. That says a lot about his playmaking ability. We were wondering if he was that type of dude, and Chancey Stuckey's like, yeah, he is. Now I'll give you a great example of what he's talking about, the nuances. They were in the red zone, and he was outside, and had 2 receivers to the right. He was the outside receiver. He came back inside on motion. And then when they broke, the inside receiver ran like a quick out. And he was supposed to run a corner route. Right? And he just didn't run the right. He didn't sell the inside. Like to come into that tight formation, he didn't sell the inside coming off of that because they couldn't bump and run him because of the split. He can't come off. The route was kind of lazy. It was just like, those are the small things. When you come off of that and you hit him accelerating and sell that inside and you have all of that room to the corner, I said, it should be an easy touchdown with somebody as talented as him.
Yeah, with guys like that, it's more about how do you get him the ball in different formations and using the motion to take the press off to allow him to get some free releases using his speed. Right. I think that's going to be key. And, with a guy like Tommy that's well-versed and drawing up stuff like that, I think we'll see a lot of styles on these motions throughout the season, especially early on, just so he doesn't have to deal with the getting off of the press, especially converting from being on offense full time and having him. It's a lot of technique involved with releases. So getting him on the move to start like Canadian football almost, it's almost like with his speed, it gives us an advantage for quick hitting, short yardage stuff, but also when we're trying to catch some reverses and stuff too to get him on the edge.
Gavin Newton, thank you for tapping in. He said, you giving up on Tyree already, bro?
We're not giving up on Tyree. I never thought he was a guy that needed more than 10, 15 carries through the game. I mean, just from a body type. I think we have body type and speed comparably similar to where, if he was out there, Tavon Austin, give him the rock. Tavon Austin in college, give him the rock. But I think because we have so many talented players that, may be young, but I do think that we have a lot of talent in the tank. Like, I didn't give up on Michael Mayer, he a senior, right? Or it's his 3rd, 4th year.
No, it's his 3rd year.
Yeah, he should be getting the ball.
He's gone. He's leaving, so it's his senior year. Might as well.
He's leaving, so it's the senior year. And Chris Tyree, I like the amount of touches he got in the Fiesta Bowl. I thought that was good. Yeah. That was about 8 touches or something like that. That's about what you're gonna get. And then you include the special teams. That's a player for us. you add up all them plays, he's playing a lot of good plays for us. So
Yeah.
I don't think I forgot about him, but we got a lot of people.
And we have to be honest. He's yet to be healthy for an entire season. Unfortunate.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Sports car, right? Sports cars, there's always something wrong with them. They always stay in the shop. But when you have them out, they look beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think we're intimidating, leaning on giving him the rock 15 to 20 times. It's more of a utility guy. Not that he can't, but like you said, he ain't been healthy enough to even get that many carries or attempts. But that's just college football in general. You got to get guys with size. That's why they say the biggest difference is the size between a D2 and D1 athlete is just the overall size of the competition. So if we lean on a 5'8" guy to get most of our offensive productions, we not working hard enough.
Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Let's continue with the physical play, but go on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And defensive line coach Al Washington met with the media earlier today. And, he talked about a couple of things. He talked about the youngsters and his impressions of them early. And then he talked about the focus. But what I want to get to is just what he's been doing with the defensive line and what he's seen thus far.
Man, getting better every day, very driven, focused. With a lot of experience in the room, obviously, but I think the thing I appreciate is how well they recognize there's another level, and that's what we're in the hunt to accomplish. So they've come along very nicely this spring. So building.
And we talked about it. Like early on, the indications from and reports from practice were how dominant the offense had been, specifically the offensive line. And I told you when I left practice last Saturday, things started to turn a little bit. I started to see a little more fight from the defensive side of the ball, the defensive line. At that point, and it's crazy because at that point, you realize Brandon Joseph had made, now you tell me what this sounds like. Up to last Saturday, and I did not see the second half of practice, but up until last Saturday, Brandon Joseph had an interception 11 straight days in practice.
What, he made a pick 11 straight days?
11 straight days. I don't know if that's a good thing.
That's not saying much considering.
Right. It's like, someone put that out there, and I'm like, I don't know how much stuff. I mean, I love it. I love having them back there.
Yeah, I mean, it validates that we got the right guy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you ain't picking off. I didn't see one of our quarterbacks on the top 10 quarterback list in the country for this year coming up. So, not that we're not deserving of that or that's not something to be proud of.
Yeah.
But I know we're handing the ball off all season, so I'm not expecting many passes to be picked off anyway.
But let's be honest. People think that's a bad thing. Like, honestly, what was the mindset when you took over?
Oh, I was like, well, I felt like I was the best in the country. So that combined with the fact that I knew we had a really good offensive line and we could really run football, it was just unfortunate for whoever played against us because I hope teams were silly enough to think that we couldn't throw because I could really throw. So then I'm like, okay, I'm getting one-on-ones with Will all day. And teams is thinking we just gonna run all day. Right. And even if they did think that we could because we had the offensive line for it, we were just unfair at that point in my career. So I was fortunate enough to have all the tools in front of me. So it was a lot easier than other guys that had that position just in general. But when you were in a stacked position like that, which I think we're getting to offensively, we joke a lot about the quarterbacks, but they're going to be fine. They're going to have, like I said, it's a 3-game season for us.
Yeah.
Tyler's going to be having all the accolades and because of just the type of schedule we have. But quarterbacks at Notre Dame specifically get judged off those 3 games, those 1-game seasons we have, because that's really all that matters. Because when you turn on the TV, you really want to see us in the big games because you'll see us every week. But you want to see us against the teams that matter because we beat all the other teams. And that's where you get evaluated as a quarterback. So that's what I'm excited to see for our guys. But I know they're going to do well this season. Like, I'm not saying they're going to be trash. They're going to do well because we're going to win 9 games off of who we got.
Yeah.
That's just what comes with it.
So Al Washington also talked about what's been the focus for the defensive line in this spring preparation.
It's like we're a good group. How can we become great? There's always room for improvement. So each individual and as a unit, and you look at wherever you are, like you look at today, our practice, how can we be better than next practice? And so that's the mentality we're taking. So it's really found in the details. So greatness is found in the details. And so that's our mentality. So how can we take a good thing and turn it great? So, that's really our focus, and that's what's driving us.
I like the fact that he looked like a D-line coach. You know what I mean? He had a guy that got the raspy voice. I know he be yelling at practice. And so I know the recruits are probably looking at him like, okay, Notre Dame got a D-line coach,
Right.
Got some bass in the D-line voice, He looked like a D-lineman. So
That's what makes Larry Johnson so great.
yeah, he looked like he
looks like he played the position.
Yeah. So if anything, we looked the part this year as a 2022 Notre Dame football team. Every position, like Coach was saying, from the head coach on down, we look like we're where we should be. Now we just gotta play like we look, and we on our way, man. I'm telling you.
He went on to talk about his youngsters. Now, I've been to 2 practices back-to-back weekends, and both times I called you after the practice, and I was like, bro, Tyson Ford is a dude. Like, that's a big boy. Like, you don't see too many freshmen come in and look like, okay. And I told you, you give him 1 year in the weight room, he's going to be a grown A man. Like I told you that. He's going to be a grown A man. Jason Onye only played 1 year of football. He's, super raw, right? Al Washington talking about his youngsters.
Tyson Ford, man, he's going to be special. Done a really good job. He's played a lot of snaps this spring, and is really turning into a really good football player. And very excited about Tyson. Jason Onye is another one who, is fully healthy now and is taking advantage of these reps that he's getting, these opportunities he's getting inside. So, I think the future's bright for both those guys.
You always love hearing a young guy compliments, man. I remember Jared Tillery coming in, 6'7", big dude, freshman, just causing havoc. And hopefully we keep that trend going, man. I know our biggest problem is probably experience in the nitty-gritty and weight. But Tyson Ford is a big guy, and I know, like you said, a year in that weight room, we might add some weight, and we might look the part up front.
Yo, fam. Aiden Gabira is big. Riley Mills is big. Like, they might not have Jordan Davis, but this ain't a small team on the defense side of the ball, bro. These some big boys, and they have they have 2, 3, some 4 years of eligibility left. I'm telling you, things are changing down in South Bend. I don't know what they putting in. They might have added cornmeal and cornbread to
protein shakes.
The protein shakes. They did something, because there's some big boys walking out across the street, running into that practice facility each and every day. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Now, Isaiah Foskey came back. No doubt he came back to make himself better. And he gave his thoughts on his new defensive line coach, Al Washington.
I like his coach style a lot. He brings a different type of energy than Coach Elston, but I feel like he focuses a lot on pass rushing and run blocking, and not run blocking, run stopping, but it's just a great position for him to be in, a great position for me to come back for a great coach like Coach Washington. Just someone to harp on stopping the run, and that's why I came back, so it's just a perfect role for that.
So you got Al Washington focusing on stopping the run with his defensive line. And you got the head coach.
See, that's all effort, man. Are you going to want to tackle Isaiah Foskey? That's my question. Are you going to want to commit to tackling all season? Because that's the only way you stop in the run. You can only coach how to stop the run schematically.
Yeah.
But you can only stop the run if you want to stop the run.
You want to stop the run.
If you don't want to stop the run, You gonna be
here.
here.
And you flying upfield and that wham block is coming.
Yeah. It ain't no coaching for that. It's are you willing to stick your head in there and stop the guy?
Yeah.
Because if not, you're just gonna be getting washed all year.
Come around the corner trying to get sacks, and you just
If I'm out, that's why I say I think Al Washington's good for the job because he looked like a guy that'll motivate you to want to stop the run.
Yeah,
that's all a D-line coach is. Just motivate me to want to stop. Because if you know, he still motivates his guys to block the shit out of the guys in front of him.
Man, you can say that again.
And I think that's just a consistency he had because he's saying don't change. He's the same guy every day.
Every day.
He's not giving you no break because it's Wednesday. You did bad on your test. So that expectation is don't play. Come to practice ready. And it always works out for the guys that stick through it. You know, he produces guys that are first round, $100 million guys. So that's motivating enough right there for Blake Fisher and all those guys.
So all of this we're talking about, specifically on the offensive end and the defensive end. Because we've been talking about the trash talk coming from the back end of the defense. Does it make you feel better with the trash talk, hearing about the focus on physicality up front, even though you don't have those dudes like a Jordan Davis on the roster quite yet?
Like I said, I don't really like the too much talk from the guys that are under 205. Just because it's just like you don't have to.
Prejudice against the skinny guys talking trash, man.
They can't be the leaders of the ones talking crazy.
So basically, what you're saying is you got a dude like Sauce Gardner that talks trash, and that dude meant absolutely nothing against Alabama.
No, it's fine. It's just like Sauce Gardner is not the reason why Cincinnati is beating Alabama. Even if they did win, it wouldn't be because of Sauce Gardner. It'd be because, oh man, Cincinnati came out smacking Bryce Young, or they came out tackling the shit out of the run. You know, it had to be something catastrophic. It wouldn't be like, man, Sauce Gardner was a game changer. Right. You know, it's not like that. But I do think that Fauci, you know, speaking highly on fixing things that we weren't great at last year, like stopping the run consistently, I think that is encouraging for the confidence of the team to feel like they can take that next step. But if you under 205 talking all talking for the defense, like you're a national championship defense, it's just it's like the cup half full. You know, you don't have the other half there. You know.
So what do you want to see? What do you really
want to see? I would love to see, you know, your Jason Adam, or not Jason, but your D-line and your front seven. I want to see more of those guys, your Bowsers. I want to see Bowser say it. That's what I want to see. I want to see Bowser go up there on that mic and say, yeah, I'm ready. JD Bertrand, we ain't seen our guy JD since his hair was messed up and he's getting out the showers last year for the game. We ain't seen him since. So I want to see guys like that coming back in. You know, I want to see my guy Jordan.
Okay, JD still has one of the classic post-game clips.
He prepared us really well. He had us ready for the high tempo. He had us ready. Like, it wasn't schematically. It was the little details of we missed tackles. We didn't win the 50-50 balls, those little details. And we need to make sure we do that better. And it's on us. And going into the next season, I just want to make sure I focus on the fundamentals, the little things like finishing leverage tackles, not going 1-for-1 for blocks, just every little detail, just being able to enhance it. And then just being able to take that next step in leadership and be able to help this team become the team that we want to become.
Yo, I blame the SID. I blame the SID for not saying, yo, give me 1 second. Let me get you straight right quick. Like,
they call him right after they came off the field.
Fresh out the shower.
Come talk to us. Go talk.
They just rushed him fresh out the shower. That was like absolutely nothing he could do. Fresh out the shower. That was
fresh out the shower. And he was honest. Everything JD Bertrand said in that interview was exactly what he was thinking about in that shower. As he's letting the water hit him, he like, man, I gotta work on leverage tackles.
Facts. That's like the thoughts in the shower being transferred over to the press conference.
And I mean, he was just going like you could tell he was thinking about this on the way over. Like he had a shower running. He like, man, I cannot believe I was missing them tackles. I gotta be better next year. Because I already seen what they was recruiting all season, coming in just for these standing outside of practice. I already seen it. I gotta get ready.
Yeah.
It was self-talk up there, self-talk.
Yo, Lucky Lefty podcast, waiting for our special guest to join us shortly. And going to the offensive side of the ball, how does Styles getting the ball, hearing what Chancey Stuckey said, knowing who Michael Mayer is, knowing what we have in the running back room? I don't want to say things are easy for the quarterbacks. It really applies more pressure to just be able to make the simple plays when they're there. Like, that's more pressure, in my opinion, rather than having to go out and beat a dude that throws for 350, and you're going to get that opportunity. It's almost like a dude that knows he's going to get 35 shots a game to score 30 points.
Yeah, it's just a delicate process. I think for Tyler or Drew, whoever, I think what goes so well in this year is that you're not expected to be the guy. You're not expected to be bringing us home from tough victories. I think this year the perception is more of a team effort and a stronger defensive effort through each game that's going to give us our victories. So it's just like Ian was back when he went in his undefeated season. When going into the season, we wasn't saying, oh, Ian's going to be in New York by the end of the year. It was just like, okay, Ian's good enough to ride us through, and we'll see what happens. I think this is the same thing for Tyler Buchner or Drew. You don't have any expectation to win. I mean, you have an expectation to win, but you don't have an expectation to win because of you. And as long as that stays the key, and that's the main thing right now, he's going to be fine facilitating the football because the pressure's not on him. It's really on that defense and on us to win those 3 games in the season.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I agree with that. And I just think, we want so much to have that dude. This is, you know what, man? Progression, right? You're the one. The Elite 11 is going to be out in Cali in a few months. So you'll be able to see all of these guys up close and personal. But the recruitment in Notre Dame, whether it's Dante Moore, Jaden Davis, Bryce J. Underwood in consecutive years, all 3 have already been offered by Notre Dame. When in previous years, I'm not sure if Notre Dame would even have gone after all 3 of those top quarterbacks.
I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy seeing an offer from Notre Dame on a lot of different quarterbacks these days. You know, usually it'd be like the bottom 25.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, damn, that's our next guy. It's way down here. Now you're seeing a lot more guys with some Notre Dame offers. So you're seeing that they not being stingy with them like they used to be.
And from an evaluation standpoint, there's a ton of promise that people see in Tyler Buchner, physical tools, but the progression of recruitment at that position, you can see how it's elevating. If you go watch the 3 guys that they've offered that I just mentioned, go watch Jaden Davis right now. Like he's getting ready to go into his junior year. Go watch him. Bryce J. Underwood came into high school football and won a state championship as a true freshman. Go watch his film right now. Like you're happy about Tyler Buchner? Go watch Bryce J. Underwood's
film. Go watch these guys that we on the radar for.
Right
it's exciting.
If you're happy about Tyler Buchner, go watch Dante Moore's film right now.
Yeah, go watch my guy's film.
Heck, I would say go watch Chris Vizina's film right now. If we're talking about Tyler Buchner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
From a film standpoint in high school. Yeah. And he didn't play. Look.
I'm not a Chris Vizina fan. I'm sorry. I'm not a Chris.
Tyler Buchner did not play his senior year. His junior year, the numbers he put up were absolutely astronomical.
Yeah, because, I mean, you saw the film. Tyler Buchner's film can be misleading due to the competition. Now, I'm hoping to see the same type of splash plays like we did on his highlight tape. But the highlight tapes these days, man, you gotta really watch them as a quarterback because you'll be stuck watching a lot of go routes and open throws. You want to see a little bit more challenge on these highlight films. And I think, Dante's, you see a little bit of challenge. You see a variety of different mix of things. The guy you sent me, that's a junior.
Yeah.
I love his film. I mean, you see a little bit of everything. It looked like I was watching the full game instead of like the same play.
He's a little light in the pants, but man.
Yeah, he a little, he a little guy, but hopefully he brings a little bit more edge. Because it might be the season of the little guy. You never know.
And then, like I said, Bryce J. Underwood. It's not too many kids that walk into high school and win championships, bro. It's just not.
Not too many.
As a freshman?
Well, what state was this?
Michigan.
Yeah, that's not easy.
State of Michigan. And the quarterback we're talking about is Danny O'Neal. Danny
O'Neal.
Yeah.
Check him out, Danny O'Neal. I like Danny O'Neal.
Yeah, local kid out of Indianapolis.
Hey, Danny O'Neal, not bad, man. He all right with me.
Danny O'Neal is nice. And the new offer running back, Corey Smith out of Wisconsin.
Corey Smith. Another night. He don't run like his size look.
Yeah.
He don't run. He look like he about 155 or something, but he run real strong.
He's nice. They have some nice talent coming to Notre Dame, man. Most people tell you, man, Notre Dame, they don't have a lot of talent.
No, we got the talent. We just don't have
a different aisle. And
we just not slinging it around like some of these other schools.
What you talking about? The duffel bags?
That too. Shit, we might not need a duffel. I don't know. I think when you win, the duffel comes with it. How about that?
I like that. When you win, the duffel comes with it. I like that. When you win, the duffel comes with it. So shout out to everyone that supports us, man. We continue to build subscriptions, the likes. We're loving it. More than that, thank you for making part 2 of our Carnell Tate interview, the most watched video on the Lucky Lefty Network channel, man. Huge appreciation to you guys. We're at like 1,800 views on our Twitter page, and we're at about 3,800 views on a YouTube page. It's bananas. And other publications that cover Notre Dame are talking about the interview. So we must have done something good. So we appreciate all the attention. We appreciate all the support. And we just wanted to give a good interview and have a great conversation with a great young man that's interested in coming to Notre Dame. And hopefully he will be, because we will have a Screen Popper shirt. But if he does choose Notre Dame, Carnell Tate will be the first official Screen Popper shirt signed. We're going to make the original Screen Popper shirt, but he'll be the first Screen Popper signed shirt with his image on it. Like, the deal is already in the makings, man. So just hoping that he makes the decision.
You know what? I feel good about him making the decision to Notre Dame. I think it's the right chance for him to really not only put on the city that he lived down the street from, but also, add that receiver perception. That'll change with a guy like that coming from IMG to change it up over at South Bend.
Look, man, you got to love it, right? You got to love it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this now as we wait for our special guest. And you know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petticoat Junction.
Petticoat Junction, pettiest stories of the day, each and every day. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the music down real quick, man, because we have to get to this when our special guest is on the way. Look at here, man. Look at here. Oh boy. So there's always hate between Michigan and Notre Dame, right, bro?
Generally,
right? So the clip kind of went viral late last night, but I had to bring it up today, and I had to throw these dudes on the petty train because I understand being a fan of the team that they're talking about and how it sucks to be a Detroit Lions fan. But when you're evaluating a player, you should just really be fair about the evaluation. And Braylon Edwards, former Michigan wide receiver, has a show with another individual, and they were dissecting whether or not the Detroit Lions would actually take Kyle Hamilton as the second overall pick. And, if your opinion is that they should go another direction, like a pass rusher over a safety, I would probably agree with that from a positional standpoint. It's more important in the NFL to have a guy that can get after the passer. Unfortunately, when you're starting to diss someone, you start making stuff up that's just so dumb that you just extinguish the entire point that you're trying to ignite. Like you like the match and then just extinguish it all over it. It can never get off the ground. Oh man, here it is, man. Braylon Edwards, his co-host, dissing Kyle Hamilton.
You will be like, oh no, if the Lions pick him. To me, it's Kyle Hamilton. And I really hope, I'd rather them take an opportunity on Sauce Gardner. Yeah. I'd rather them go with Thibodeau. I'd rather them do anything other than take Kyle Hamilton. It's almost like when you put the game film on, and I watch Notre Dame a lot. How can you not? When he's on the field, I just don't NBC. Feel like he's a difference maker. He just wasn't that difference maker that you saw Aiden Hutchinson take over a game. Hell, in the UCLA game, you did see that from Kayvon Thibodeau. Yeah. Sauce Gardner, nobody's taken half the field away for the entire year, let alone a game. You have these defensive players who just take over a game, and I just never saw that from him.
Something about Notre Dame that just doesn't translate into the NFL. I look at all these great players that Notre Dame has had in terms of in college. They don't pan out in the league. And if you want to specifically focus on the safety position, Tom Zivakowski, nothing. Glenn Earl, nothing. Jerome Sapp, nothing. They don't pan out in the league. We talked about this. If you want to draft the guy number 2 play safety, he's got to be a game changer. Mm-hmm. He's got to be a guy that you win games because he's got to be a guy that the other team is scared to play against. They have to come up with a game plan for. One thing about a safety, there's a lot on that potential. He's literally the quarterback of the defense. He and the Mike linebacker. He has to know everybody's position. He has to know the coverages. He has to know everything about the offense that he's playing against, about the defense that he's playing on. Got to know all that stuff. When you play with a cornerback doesn't have the same responsibilities. They could be a lockdown, shutdown corner. They could just worry about their third of the field. Kyle Hamilton's got to worry about the whole field and everybody, and I just don't want to put that type of I don't want to put that type of pressure on a guy that I don't believe in. That's why I don't want Kyle Hamilton number 2. I think he's a really good player, not at 2.
What?
Go ahead, bro.
What is this man talking about?
Go ahead, man.
First of all,
look, the dude, Armani, his co-host.
First of all, the co-host, you would never get drafted first anything. So
Braylon knows better, bro. Braylon knows better. See,
Braylon knows better, but he, you know why? Because he took it to somewhere it didn't need to go. He started talking about, I got a beef with Notre Dame players.
Right.
What?
Right.
You talk about the draft. Now you want to talk because then your history of Notre Dame players is very faulty.
Right.
Thomas and Mikowski, okay, I get it. Okay, whatever. I can agree with you on that. But you talking about Harrison Smith, who's still playing today? What you talking about? Harrison Smith, you played against him. Braylon Edwards, you hater. Second of all, listen, to say Kyle's not prepared to be the number 2 pick, if anybody in the draft is number 2 worthy, it's Kyle Hamilton. I think they're saying this because of his speed and he went to Notre Dame. But you can't tell me you watched every freaking game because you said it's hard not to and say he didn't look like he's changing life. What do you mean?
And then brought up Aiden Hutchinson. That's what got me. That's what got me.
Yeah, they got up a sorry-ass Michigan player. I could get it because you said Aiden Hutchinson first, which means that you was really wanting to put a Michigan guy in that spot to go home to Detroit. Right. But you know that they don't even want the Michigan guy that's right down the street because they know he's full of it. They'd rather get Kayvon Thibodeau.
Right.
So this is a biased-ass segment from 2 biased-ass players. Well, I'm sorry, 1 biased-ass player and then a nerd. So we're not listening to nothing y'all talking about. We're not listening to nothing you talk about. Then he said he don't want to put pressure on a guy like that he doesn't like. Well, who do you like? You like Aiden Hutchinson? You want to put the pressure on Aiden Hutchinson? If you draft Aiden Hutchinson number 2, that means you're saying you want 13 to 14 sacks.
I don't think you're getting that. I don't think
you're not getting that. You're not getting that. Like, Hayden Hutchinson, you will forget that he's out there.
Yeah.
If he's at number 2.
I don't think you're getting that. Like you're talking about, look, man.
They are haters.
Dude, like I said, his co-host, it is what it is. I've been known to allow my Notre Dame fandom to take over better judgment on certain debates, and I get it. You know?
Talk about he watched all the film and was like, he's not the – what is he then? What are you – man, what
I watched all the film, and I never saw him, like, take over a game. The very first game last year, he dominated Florida State. The very first game.
The first 4 games he had a pick in. Oh, remember the Purdue pick he had to stop the touchdown drive? Remember the tackle? And this man.
The dude had a pick 6 as a freshman.
They be hating. Braylon Edwards, you're definitely on the petty train because you know better. The nerd, I get it. But Braylon Edwards, you know better. How you gonna say Tom Zubikowski and not Harrison Smith if you talking about safeties? What are you talking about? Yo, you played against Harrison, you hate.
Hey, bro, that's it. That's enough for the petty time. Guys. So let's welcome special guest Julio Rodriguez, who is that dude when it comes to Notre Dame football and making sure that fresh fades are taking place. It's a pleasure to have him. So let's welcome Julio Rodriguez to the Lucky Lefty podcast.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man?
Hey, man, look, you see me? The next time I'm in the bin for practice, you're gonna have to.
Hey, I got to, man. I got to. You gotta stay fresh.
Oh, definitely. So we appreciate you joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about your journey, and let's talk about how you became a barber and what sparked you to become a barber.
Man, so my journey began in high school. I started cutting like all my friends, and then I ended up cutting like who was it? VJ Beecham, Bonzi Colson,
Barbie, VJ, and then you start cutting Jay Hayes and Pete Mockwood.
Yeah. Pete.
and Austin and
I forgot about Pete.
and oh man. Yeah, you start cutting the young guys.
Yeah, man, it just was fast, like super fast. Like Claypool was on that team. Yeah, man, it was just a bunch of guys, just one by one. Dax, Ashton White, all them guys.
Ashton was going to you a lot, and I remember because we had Barber Joe. Tell people about we had Barber Joe at first.
Hey, Barber Joe, that's my dog, man. But obviously he been at it for a while here at ND, and then it's like I don't know, man. Like I just came around and just because I was going out with the guys and stuff, like because we was all the same age, And it's like I just feel like we just got the vibing, like, just
right.
vibing out, and it's just one after the other, man. It turned into a legit business.
So
Literally.
how did they approach you to become part of the 2022 recruiting commit films and everything that was going on in that production?
So, man, crazy. So as soon as, I wouldn't say as soon as Kelly left, but it was about that time where they they had to switch things up. So I feel like they just hit me up and were like, yo, like, we need your barbershop to be in these recruiting videos. Like, this is a cool spot. Like, this is like what's hip. Like, these are what players like, recruits like. So they just were like, they thought my business was a great idea. And so they used me. I was like, I'm all for it. And so it's crazy.
Your boy Pete Marco said, Julio, what up?
Yo, what up, Pete? I ain't seen him in a grip.
I'm sure he'll be back in the den real soon, man. A lot of players coming back. Marcus Freeman has changed the atmosphere.
Oh my Lord, yeah. I'm outside his office right now. I just got done cutting his hair.
You just got done cutting his hair. What is it like, man?
I'm outside the facility. Yeah, man. I literally just left his office. Like, we always got some cool combos. Like, he a younger dude. Like, I've never personally spoke with Kelly like that, but I could just talk to Freeman about anything, man. It's crazy. That's like, crazy. I already know how these recruits feel when they hear, like, it's like big homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
What's the haircut Marcus Freeman's asking for? Is he asking for a nice Dayton fade? What's he going for? What's his go-to?
Man, he's a ball fake kind of guy because his hair grows fast. I cut him once a week. Literally once a week.
Oh, yeah, so you on call. It's
Thursday.
like, every Thursday.
Yeah. I just cut him Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, so I just cut him a couple days ago. So he's like, bro, I got meetings. Like, he's like, I gotta stay.
Yeah, he said, I gotta stay fresh. I can't be out here looking.
I'm like, no, it's crazy because as soon as he got called head coach, he looked at me like, Julio, I'm done cutting my own hair. Like, I need you on call, like, straight up. I said, let's do it. He used to cut his own hair. Yeah, as DC, yeah. He was just, he just needed it that bad.
That's how you talk about elevating, man. Elevating. He said, I can't do it by myself no more.
No, yeah, he looked at me like, Julio, like, I appreciate the congrats, but I'm going to need you every week. I'm like, I got you, man.
I got you.
Crazy.
Lefty Podcast, Julio Rodriguez at Julio's Cuts, right here with us, joining myself and Malik Zaire. So, look, man, it's a certain vibe we're hoping you can bring to this squad this year, because you had an opportunity to take part of the national championship game when the Georgia Bulldogs gave you a call. Talk about how it happened and what how things played out. And
so Malik, Van Gorder. Van Gorder used to be on the team.
The defensive coordinator,
but his son. Yeah, okay. His son.
Yeah, Gummy.
So Van Gorder,
Gummy.
Yeah, so Gummy, he's on Georgia doing something like.
He's on Georgia's team. Yeah.
Yeah. So he calls me like, Julio, we need barbers ASAP. I'm like, I'm on my way. So I go down there and I took one of my barbers with me and we got to cut like 30 guys, man. Dan Lanning, the DC, I cut him. That was probably my biggest name. My barber, he cut like Zaire White, the running back. Like, we cut a bunch of dudes, like at least 30 of them. So yeah, man, we just went there and came back, and like Monday, that following Monday, because we cut them Saturday. The following Monday, man, I couldn't believe they won, and I was just like, damn, like that's dope, man.
They won. They said you look the best, you play the best,
Yeah, man, I was so stunned. Like that was for sure one of the best experiences of my life.
Is there any player that you've cut that just refused to have like a bad hair day? It's like, yo, you just cut him like 3 days ago. It's like he's still hitting you up like, man, I need a lining, or I need you to do my fade over.
I don't know. I would say Freeman is super on it. Like out of all my clients, I cut him the most.
You know why? Do you know why? Because he's from the 937. He's from Dayton, Ohio. So
I told him. I told him I was getting on the podcast. He's like, yeah, Malik, he's from Dayton. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I told him I was getting on here.
Yeah, we love Coach, man. He's a good dude. So let's talk about it. Do the players foul in pretty much the same couple of days, or is it like throughout the week leading up to a game? Or they like to come in specific days?
So right now we're off season. So I get guys at least once a day. Somebody from the teams at my shop once a day, at least somebody randomly. And then it's been crazy lately. Like coaches, all the coaches are getting cuts. Like,
hey, you know, we got a lot of different color coaches now.
Yeah. So we get the fades now, the tapers, the lineups. Yeah, so they keeping me busy, and so it's all throughout the week, man. And now, you said what?
What's this done for your life? I feel like did you expect to be? I mean, man, you gotta have a lot of shit.
I don't know what it is, man, but I don't know. I just know I'm doing something good, obviously, but I don't know what it's gonna lead to. What it's, I'm just in the mood. I'm just in there. I'm just going crazy, man. And trying to enjoy the process for sure, cause like, it's like I'm gonna try to go to all the games and just try to enjoy, like, hanging out with the guys after the games, like how I've been doing sometimes. Like last year, like we'd kick it at the games, like talk to like Kyron and them, like, bro, like how was the game? Like, it's just dope to be like in the mix for sure.
Yeah. So the blue and gold game was on April 23rd.
Yep.
It's a special day because that's my birthday.
Oh, okay. You coming?
I'm coming to the Bend.
Oh, okay. Let me know, man.
Malik's gonna be there too.
I'm gonna be there.
We're gonna have a couple of events. We definitely gonna have to come through.
Yes,
I'm definitely gonna come sit in the chair. So you
have to.
I need to make a reservation right now as soon as we get off.
Yes,
and
sir.
Definitely, what's the best spot? Tell me the perfect way to enjoy a birthday in the Bend.
That's right.
That's right.
I mean, it's tough, obviously, but I say you can go to Bar Louie. They just got a 3-story Bar Louie out here in Granger.
Really?
It's dope. Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. You can get you a little table, a little, it's like a chit chat spot. Drink a little bit, eat good food, and just if you want to get buck wild, you can get buck wild. Malik know all the college spots like CJ's, Corby's. All the spots y'all was going to.
Right.
Take him to Penny's.
Go to Penny's, going to CJ's, going all their places.
Hey,
we might even hit up in Michigan and go big in Harbor one time.
I'm here for it.
Oh,
now, have you ever had one of the OG players stop into the shop and get a cut from him?
Yeah. So OG, like how OG? Like Quentin Nelson OG? Like what we talking?
See, you pulling out Hall of Famers. You pulling out the Hall of Famers.
Tim Brown. We talking Tim Browns. Like Tim Brown and stuff at the shop. So I ain't cut Tim Brown, but he came to my shop, showed me love and stuff, and signed a jersey for me. Like that was cool.
Oh wow,
that was dope.
Nice. That's dope.
Yeah, because his son, I cut his son's hair. He go to Holy Cross.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
That's amazing. So the culture, I've been down there for practices like the last 3 weekends. And I've been telling Malik, like, bro, it's a different vibe around there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
They're walking around with a different swag.
Yeah.
And you're the barber, you're around these guys. Do you feel that?
Oh, 100%, man. Everywhere. You feel it. Like, it's in the air. It's in the air for sure. Like, it's special, man. And, like, you like I said, like, you don't know what it's going to lead to, like, what it's going to come up to. Like, I think we can seriously talk about a national championship, like, somehow. Like, it has to. Like, what, next couple 5 years? Like, in the 5 years or something? Like,
yeah.
This has to come down to something, like, this ain't just happening for a reason. Like, nah, like this is going on. Like, it's real,
Yeah.
It's wild.
Couple of our listeners said shout out to Nikki Fades.
That's one of my barbers. Yeah, hell yeah. That's one of my barbers.
I got the cool names, man.
Yeah, man. Nikki. Hey, they be calling him Nikki Fadez.
But then
the guys who don't know how to say the guys who don't know how to say fades, they be looking at it as like, is that Fadez? I'm like,
Damn,
he not
bro.
Cuban.
Okay, that's different.
Nicky Fidesz. I'm like, bro, it's fake.
Yeah. Oh, good grief.
So you're a very fashionable guy. I peep you on social media.
Hell yeah.
When you go to these events or you go to a national championship game,
Yeah.
of course you got your equipment. That's
Yeah.
the most important thing.
100%.
But how are you walking up in there? What are you rocking? Give me like
Mm,
the top 3 shoes or sneakers
yeah.
you put in your bag when you go on these
Man.
all important business trips. Because I
Well,
peep your game. I peep
yeah,
your
yeah.
game when
So
what you wear.
I've been really on that whole Balenciaga thing. Like, I
Nice.
love it because like I couldn't believe I could afford $1,000 shoes, but like it's something about when you buy them, it makes
Yeah.
me want to literally go back to the shop and get that money back. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that if I want to. So if I'm gonna buy some Gucci's at 600-700, I'm coming right back Monday and I'm gonna go hard. Like I need my money back. So man, yeah. So I've been doing that stuff, like, and I'm still in the retro Yeezys. All that stuff's dope, man. Like I'm trying to, it's the shoe games is elevating. I feel like it's crazy.
Right.
I love the shoe game. It's dope, yeah. The
So
off
now
whites
you
and
see
everything.
yeah.
Now you seeing with the trends, you talking about the trends, and you've been doing Notre Dame for a little bit of time, while I was even there.
Yeah,
What have you seen
yeah.
a different trend haircuts as you've
Oh,
gotten
and
through the years?
I thought you. Oh, I
Has
thought
it
you was
been?
gonna say on the clothes.
Oh no, I'm saying on just the haircuts. Has it
On the
been like
cuts.
because when I was there, we was big on the south of France. We had the mohawk with the
Yeah,
like fro
yeah.
thing, and then you got guys like Cam Hart who keep it fresh. His DC fade
Yeah,
lineup.
yeah.
So what's the
So
the
I would
trends
say
changed?
like I would say, I mean, you still got the twists and the locks and the braids and all that. I think that's pretty much in style a lot. The taper and the lines are forever gonna be like, let me just get a quick taper and a line up. That's forever, in trend, I feel like. But you got guys with the eyebrow lines. I'll say I do a lot of eyebrow lines nowadays. And I've been
What?
switching it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, guys,
Remember how back in the day people was doing like just 2 lines straight down? I'm like,
yeah.
nah, bro, we're doing diagonal. We're going like slicing. So like
Oh
they've been
shoot.
liking that.
Okay.
It gives it more of a swag. It gives it more of a tough swag. Like so you just got scratched up, It's dope. Like I've been peeping a lot of guys with asking for that, which is dope.
Wow.
So
Okay.
what's the one thing that's a pet peeve for you when you're servicing a client? I'll give you an example. My barber, growing up, always had to tell me, like, yo, bro, straighten your forehead out, bro. I'm trying to line you.
Yeah. Oh, I already know, man. It's when somebody looks at me when I'm lining up the mustache, I'm like lining up the mustache. I'm like, bro, why are you looking at me in the face? Like, look the other way. Like, I'm trying to, like, nah, I can't.
All right.
When I'm lining somebody's mustache, I'm like, nah.
Who's the guy on the team that moves the most in the chair?
There's a lot, man. I can't bust them out. I can't bust them out, nah. They're gonna be like, bro, why are you doing me like that?
Yeah, okay. I did not know who the
I try to keep it
sperm
to
is.
myself, like, no, there's definitely a couple for sure. There's definitely a couple for sure, man.
So are you, most of the time, I like barbers that can do both things. Either they can talk with you or to you as they cut, or they're silent when they cut. Like I can do both, especially if I'm tired, because I might doze off a little bit, close my eyes, get a little rest while I'm in a chair. The one thing I can't stand is a dude that talks and has to stop the clippers when he's talking. I'm like, fam, you can still cut while you talking to me, man. Like that's like
I feel like that's definitely old school.
Exactly. Like you don't have to be my therapist. We could just have a conversation and you continue to talk.
Yeah, no, that's definitely old school. Like I'm on the schedule myself, so I'm like, bro, we getting through this haircut and we gonna have a decent combo. I'm gonna see you again soon.
Right.
Like,
The time is money.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Time is
100%.
money. How many of the players love the razor? Do you take the razor to the guys?
Every single one, yeah. Every single one. Yeah. The razor is, you have to do the razor.
Yeah.
Every single person. That's what
Yeah,
makes
I'm a
everything
razor.
sharp, like, you know?
Exactly.
Mustache, everything. Eyebrows, line up the eyebrows, everything. Like hairline. And now you got the enhancement sprays. I don't know if you guys know about it. You know,
Yeah,
the
I
little
done
spray
seen
gun,
that.
you know,
They
make
get
it a little hairline, a little. Nah, now they're pulling up to the games with a dark hairline, and it's crazy. Like, no, it's crazy.
Did you ever think it would get to that point? We always see enhancements on the female side, right?
Yeah,
and we know how much money women pay to take care of their hair with products and everything. Did you ever think it would get to that point to where it is today, with guys dealing with enhancements and actually spending money on products to take care of their hair?
Nah, man, honestly, no. And I was never a fan of the spray myself. Like, I'm like, you know, because there's a lot of barbers who just spray it up and it looks nice. I'm like, bro, once the shower is not gonna look like a good haircut. So I was never a fan of the spray, but as I learned how to use it just a little bit and make that pop, like make it the hairline pop out. Now it's like you could tell clients like they don't want to admit it, but they definitely love it. Like, you know, they don't want to say, yeah, I have a fake hairline. Like, nah, bro, like. They definitely love it.
Yeah, nowadays they
Dope,
cool
man.
with it now. Back then we used to get on their head about doing
it. Like, oh, exactly. Like, oh, you got that spray, that Beijing. Like,
yeah,
nah,
straight
bro,
up.
this is different now. Yeah, it's different now. It's different. It's some good stuff, man.
So when Julio just kind of like gets away, like what's his favorite getaway spot, travel spot to just go with the fellas, relax, and just enjoy himself?
It's tough because it's been a while, man. It's tough because it's been a while. Like, I try to, you know, I try to go to Bar Louie every now and then, try to get a drink or two, just chill. But like, I don't really take vacations, man. I need to, but like, obviously,
get away, bro. You gotta get away.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, but I'll go to Florida and just kick it. I'd love to, but like
Miami.
That's a little too crowded. Maybe Clearwater, you know. Maybe some Tampa.
Yeah. West Coast of Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love stuff like that. I like Tampa, like what's that place? The Plaza, all the bars and stuff at Ybor or something.
Ybor. St. Petersburg, like down that way.
Yeah, all that stuff is dope. Yeah, man. I love all that stuff. LA, I would love to be in LA, but it's too expensive, man. Too expensive.
Man, I don't know how this dude is still out there. Like,
who's that? Malik? You out there?
Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, I'm out in LA. See, I got the piano back here, man. Over there.
Oh yeah, you vibing out there. You vibing.
We vibing.
I know it's a vibe. It's a hustler's vibe in LA, I feel like.
No, yeah, you would love it.
I like it out there.
Hair. Yeah, absolutely. You cut hair. You
yeah, it's a hustler vibe. Yeah,
I was out there with him. I was out there with him about 3 weeks ago, Julio, and he took me out with some fellas on a Friday night, and they tried to woo me into staying, bro. they brought out all the stops.
They did a good job. We done took you to the roof. We done took you to the nice little spots. Yeah.
And they took me to another roof.
Yeah,
with
man.
a panoramic view of the city.
With the
and I'm like, what y'all doing? Then they had somebody walk up to me and say, Shaun, you can make a bunch of money out here. Every day is waiting on you. And I'm like, what are y'all doing to me, man?
No, yeah, that's really how it is. That's really how it is. And why aren't you going? It's like, you know what I mean?
This is the crazy thing. My daughter goes to college out there. That's the crazy thing.
Oh, man.
She goes to SC.
How old are you, son?
Man,
how old are you, son?
I'm turning 48 on April 23rd.
Bro, I thought you was like 20, bro.
No, fam. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
I thought you were young.
Hey, yeah, you know how we got them good genes, man. You know how that go, man. You know how Shaun got them good genes.
That's that Chicago tap water, baby.
The tap water.
Yeah,
LA for sure is a vibe, man.
What's your favorite splurge item that you've bought? You talk about Balenciagas, but what's like your favorite splurge item that you bought? That when you bought it, you just took a step back and was like, Yeah.
Man, I just bought an old school Bronco.
What are you gonna
The
do
old,
with it?
it's lifted up. It's set. Like it's like the OJ. Like
Word?
it's not the white one, but it's a red
Yeah.
one. I just
Oh,
bought
that's
it. Like I
hard.
sold my Benz. And then I with that money I want to go buy an old Bronco with like 100-some thousand miles on it.
Now
And
you
that
know
boy is
they just re-released the Bronco. Do you
yeah,
like
the new
newer
ones.
Yeah.
I don't, not too much. They're cool, but they're just expensive, like as hell.
Right. Yeah,
I
they
bought
have
me an
it.
old school Bronco. I ride in it like hell yeah. I feel like I'm in the 90s.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
right. Hey, and that's good for South Bend
Yeah,
weather.
man.
That's true.
Dude, I love. Look,
100%.
one thing I noticed driving to the Bend and driving around like over the last couple of months, people love Jeeps and trucks like the
Yeah.
Broncos. You see a lot of Jeeps.
There's
Jeep
so
trucks.
many Jeeps.
Yeah, you see a lot of them.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, no,
So
man.
last impression. If you had to bet, now you have to lease, who is going to be the last minute guy to hit you up April 22nd? Like, man, I got to be fresh.
Yeah.
Who's that one guy always gets you late?
Lately. Yeah, all of them like legit. Like literally, that's how it's gonna be. Like that's no joke. We're coming. You know how they have the scout teams and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
right. That's right.
A haircut's important, and Freeman knows out of all these people. Like Freeman knows, like, yeah, man. People need haircuts. People need to feel good, man. Like straight up.
That's right.
Has there been anyone that's walked in and asked for a specific cut or asked for something, and you were like, "Nah, fam, that ain't it."
Nah, I mean the heart thing. Remember that whole Drake heart stuff?
Yeah,
like people was asking for it, and like I did it on a couple guys, and like at first I was like, nah, bro, I don't think you should do that. You're already thinning, like your corner's already thin. You know what I'm saying? And
that's crazy.
I'm like, why are you gonna add a heart when your corners are thinning? But nah, like I still did it, like, and I still, added a little spray to it. It's cool.
Hey, well, I'm telling you, you might have to try to get an app going, man, to get your client roster set up. Since you're doing the team this season, you get the little app, tell them who coming up next. You'd be all right.
Yeah, something like that, right? I already go through.
You got enough eggheads at Notre Dame. Figure it out.
I'm thinking, you know what I'm sensing, bro?
Huh?
We might have to do a live show at the barber shop, bro.
We could. We really
just
could.
Might as well sit at the shop and converse about Notre Dame football with the fans.
Oh man, they love it. They love it. Like Notre Dame vibes are all in my shop, man. Literally. And yeah, like we got fans coming from during the season. Fans come from all over, like to try to get in with the cuts and stuff. Like we got kids coming in and stuff. Like it's dope, man. It's different out here in the season.
Do you ever get recruits that stop by?
Yeah.
On a visit.
Yeah. So recently, I just cut a big time recruit.
Okay.
Yeah. So he came to the shop, got him right. I'm sure y'all know who it was recently. 5-star QB.
That's right. Did you cut the fro?
Or
Did you cut the fro, or did you just tape it up? What'd you do?
I just taped it up, man, and that's all he wanted. He asked for me, and we made it happen. He already knew. I need a Julio cut, which was crazy.
Oh,
I haven't even. He told one of the guys here, like, yeah, I need a cut, like. So I ended up cutting his hair. So like, if he commits, I'm posting him.
See, that's a good sign. If he looking for you, that's a good sign.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we get him.
When he did the
which I think we are.
I think we are too.
I think we are too.
I think we are too. So when he took the photo shoot, man, you gotta make sure because he posted the photo shoot on Instagram when he was sitting on the gold throne.
Yep.
You should have shouted out like, man, haircut by Julio.
Nah, yeah, that would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. That would have gone crazy.
I don't even get my hopes up like that.
Do you think what's the next step for you? To like get a call from somebody that's like getting ready to get drafted, NFL draft night? Like,
Yeah,
yo,
I just told Kyle Hamilton, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be on call for you, and if you need me, before the draft. So
nice.
I just cut his hair like last week.
Okay.
But I told him,
You gotta
I'll
get
be
Kyle
like,
right.
because I got the cut. I got to cut Quentin Nelson before the draft though. That was cool. He went what, 5th pick, 1st round? That was crazy. But I was still in the basement then, so like I didn't have no buzz going. It was just like cutting guys in the basement.
That's crazy. So when you were cutting your guys in the basement, it was like what, $5, $10 for your boys?
I was charging like 15, 20, man. Just the standard, whatever.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Better than Chicago
Yeah, man.
Chicago, if you get a good barber, that's 40 a pop.
Oh yeah, I already know. Yeah, times have changed. Yeah, I already know. Chicago different.
Yeah. So once again, Julio, man, we thank you so much for joining us today on the show. Let everybody know where they can follow you at on social media, and then let them know where they can get at you in the bin. Let them know the address to the shop.
Hell yeah. So my IG is at Julio's Cuts, 110 North Main Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, Exclusive Studios. That's the barbershop, Exclusive Studios. If you just go on my IG, just click the book button, and then you can just pick your time slot, and then boom, you got an appointment set.
Yo,
yes, sir. Easy.
I'm in town on the 21st. I get there that afternoon. My reservation is going to be set for the 21st.
Yes, you can do that right now. Just go on my IG.
I'm about to hit you right after we get off and let you know what time I'll be there. Get me right.
Yes,
I'm celebrating my birthday all weekend. All the fans of the show said they're going to celebrate with us. And then we'll chop it up by possibly doing a live show.
Let's do it.
With you guys at the shop, chopping it up.
I'm always down for whatever, man.
Hey, Julio, thanks for joining us on the Lucky Lefty podcast. We'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate you, man. Hey, take care now, man.
You too. Man, great interview. Julio Rodriguez, Julio's Cuts. Check him out. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget, A2S Network on Apple Podcasts. If you want to listen to all of the podcasts, his name is Julio Rodriguez, Michael Campbell, Julio Rodriguez. We thank everybody for supporting. Make sure you hit the like button. Malik had to go. He had a couple of meetings. He had to handle some things. We are brought to you and featuring Onora Whiskey. OnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Great show. Great convo with Julio Rodriguez today. We'll be back for another episode of the Lucky Lefty podcast tomorrow. As always, spend it different today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.